Hello, this is MidianASMR and welcome to the channel. But quick warning that the quirks in this might be a little bit dinky because I couldn't really think of anything good without reusing the same aspects from my others. But in the ending of this video, I am going to explain the difference in series and that they're different people. Each series is a different person, which is why each series it's either Nomu, water quirk, or different quirks. And that is the difference. But I will tell more at the end of the video. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoy listening. You look up at the Class 1A door, your hand trembling slightly, hovering right above the doorknob. Why couldn't you just slide it open? Your body stayed, up in this position. You couldn't move. The only thing you could manage to think was about, why am I here? It all came back to when you had to move from America. You were in the top hero school that they could offer, but no one from the school ever became a pro hero. They couldn't do any better than a sidekick to a pro. Your dream was to be able to become a pro hero, to save lives and help people when you could. You had two quirks. Your family called the first Demon's Blood. It was the ability to change your form to one that resembles close to what people imagine to a demon, which in this form you became very strong and very quick. You don't use this form often due to not being able to control the bloodlust that comes with it. The other had to do with elements. Your father could control air, water, fire, earth, and plants. You, however, could only shoot out small bursts of fire that could reach about 10 feet if you really tried. Of course, the reason for this being the lack of training due to the school you are attending at the moment. The school had seen your skills and how you outranked any other teen in the large school. They decided to get into contact with your parents to see if they would take a chance into getting you into UA. Of course, they were all for it, and the school staff called you up to the office. You went to the office finding your parents and the principal. You give very confused looks as you soon sit down between your parents. Hey, what's going on? You ask rather softly, managing to look up at the principal. You are a very nervous and anxious person at heart, also known throughout the school for you having a very kind heart. The principal smiles at you softly and replies, "We would ask if you to try and transfer into UA. We as a school can see that you are not challenged here. We want you to go to a place that, challenges you and puts you through hardships. Of course, your parents have already agreed. All we need is your yes and okay from UA." You give a rather confused look to the principal, only having one question. Why didn't you ask UA first? They may not say yes. The principal laughs as she gives a little nod to you. We have transferred someone there before, and they became a top hero. Of course, this was a very long time ago, but I don't think that they wouldn't let you try to get in. You gulp slightly as your hands begin to tremble. You had remembered that the school exam to get into UA had almost killed people at some point. You manage to calm yourself and look up at the principal. All right, I'll try to get in. Your parents hug you and the principal smiles warmly at you. She gently picks up the phone and decides to call UA. They had confirmed to let you try out to attend, but this meant you had to leave for Japan right away. Yeah, that's how I got here, after passing the exam. You stay standing at the front door of Class 1A, still too afraid to enter the class. You had passed the exam only by letting out 20% of the Demon's Blood quirk out, and using some of your fire quirk. You had done the exam a few days ago, the side effects of your quirk causing you to feel very sick for the past few days. This included fever, headaches, migraine, vomiting, cramping of muscles all over the body, and many other things. Most of these side effects have to do with, demon's blood. You finally go to slide open the door, gently stepping into the class. Everyone's heads turn to you. In response, you let out a little gulp and look at the teacher. Are you Mr. Aizawa, sir? You ask very softly, your voice letting out slight trembles and squeaks as you stutter to speak. Mr. Aizawa looks at you, and he soon notices a paper in your hand. He walks over and gently grabs it from you. He was not informed that the new student would be in his class. He rescanned your paper, making sure you were in the right place. Listener, welcome to Class 1A. I see you couldn't find the school uniforms. You nod in a sheepish way, clearly very nervous. Bakugou scoffs in the back of class, glaring at you from a distance. To him, you were just another extra. But as he soon got a better look at you, he saw you were quite attractive. Of course, this makes his cheek flush slightly as he growls to himself, gripping the desk as he stands up. Listen up, you extra! He begins to yell. The whole class lets out a loud groan, seeing he is already going to be giving the new girl a hard time. You need to learn your place. My name is Katsuki Bakugou. I'm going to be the greatest hero of all time. So you better learn your place now before I blow it into your skull. His hands spark slightly as he keeps glaring at you. Your eyes widen slightly, seeing how aggressive he was already. You look up and over at Mr. Aizawa. Sir, I forgot to ask how the children were divided. Is it by age or power? Also, is this considered a high class or a class for people with weaker quirks? Everyone's eyes widen, including Bakugou's. Aizawa chuckles a little as he looks at you, giving you a very soft reply. This is Class 1A, for first years like yourself. It's divided by both grade and power. 1A is the highest class you can be in for your year. I'm guessing you didn't think you would be put in a high class. You blush slightly as you nod your head again, somewhat hiding your head in your coat. It had the UA signature on it, which told Aizawa that they were out of girl uniforms in your size. The rest of the class was still shocked that you really had no idea how this school worked. Aizawa asked you to take your seat. You give a quick nod, and you head to the back of class. Sitting in the empty seat that they had, you look up at everyone in a shy manner, clearly looking like a nervous wreck in your own eyes. But the more Bakugou looked at you, the more flushed he got. He manages to look away as Aizawa begins with his lesson once more. Class was very normal in your eyes. They hadn't really done anything exciting. Aizawa wanted the class to interact with you and learn how you acted before training. This would both help you and Aizawa to make sure you didn't get paired with somebody that you may not be able to fight or were too scared to fight. He dismisses everyone to talk in class before lunch. Izuku walks over to you and gives you a soft smile as you both started speaking. You interact with everyone very calmly, the Baku squad also walking over to speak with you. They had noticed loud noises or yelling made you act a little bit more nervous. Everyone spoke to you calmly and kindly, well, at least as much as they could, surprisingly including Mina. You slowly started to talk more and speak about how life was in America, laughing at Dinky's jokes, talking to Sarah about his amazing quirk, other things like that. You were like a ball of sunshine when you opened up, even a little bit. Bakugou stayed sitting in the chair as Kirishima walked over to him to speak with him. Bro, don't you think it's a little bit rude not to speak to the new kid? He glares at Kirishima and growls, Hell no, nothing but another filthy extra. Kirishima shrugs and decides to stay with his friend, Aizawa coughing to get everyone's attention. He starts speaking about, after lunch, that he had already chosen who will be finding who. Ears perk up as you look. He starts naming off people. Kirishima and Tsuyu, Uburaya. Your mind goes blank as he keeps saying the names. At the moment, you felt all the fear and anxiety come back, not knowing who you would be paired to fight with. The next words that came out of Aizawa's mouth were, Listener and Bakugou. Your face turns white as Bakugou's face lets out a wide grin. Your hands tremble slightly as you slowly turn to him. He is pretty much radiating dark evil energy at this point, and you have a feeling you were going to get your butt kicked. Hey guys, little thing from Midian again. This is going to be a little explanation of how my series are laid out. I'm just saying, with every series and title, there is a big chance, if it's not the same quirk as the other one, it's different series. This is a different series from the bad ending with the Nomu. This is not the beach one because the quirk is different. And of course, this is probably going to be one of my longer series because I have a really good place that this I have going in mind, and I think y'all will really like it. So please don't stab me. Anyways, have an amazing rest of the day.